everyone, Justin Banon here. I'm the founder of Boson Protocol, and we're here talking to Liv McCall, who is our advisor for PR and is also a specialist in luxury fashion. Welcome, Liv.
Hi, Justin. Great to be here.
So, Liv, to start off, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience, and then what you're doing to support Boson.
Yeah, of course. I've spent 25 years in the fashion and luxury space. I've worked for brands such as Ralph Lauren, Bottega Veneta, Versace. I also have worked for the British Fashion Council, which looks like after over 200 fashion brands. As well, I've worked in an agency, KCD, heading up their London office, and in publishing. So I've really seen the fashion industry from a 360 point of view. With Boson, I'm working on the communication strategy so that we're really speaking to the market in the right way, but also speaking to the fashion and luxury brands in the right way. As well, because of my experience in the industry over 25 years, I've built up many contacts. So, doing those introductions to those senior level members of the community.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's to kick off. Can you share with us your kind of view on the state of the luxury market, including how that relates to crypto?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a downturn in luxury spending, as we all know. Growth has definitely plateaued. And I think because of that, it's an exciting time for crypto. Brands are really looking for new markets and other ways to approach their audiences. So now is the time for brands to really turn to crypto and look at the opportunities there.
Okay. Um, and so, can you sort of talk us through um, how and when you see brands sort of mass adopting? And we've talked about these different type of appetites for adopting crypto that we see with brands.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are some brands who always want to be first to market and industry leaders. So those will be the early adopters. And then there are other brands who will want to understand the industry first a little bit more and how the early adopters have utilized the crypto audiences and then adopt themselves. So it's really that sort of the leaders and then the followers, I suppose. And then there are some who will just be watching the space and just observing for perhaps later conversion.
Okay, brilliant. Um, and so, in terms of our sort of strategy for approaching brands, you and I, recently had a trip to Milan, and obviously the details of who we saw and what discussed at the moment are under embargo, as I'm sure you would remind me. But let's talk a little about the sort of different approach that you sort of encouraged, and what that approach is with brands, and how brands sort of respond to that.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think that most of the big brands and the senior level people at those brands appreciate face to face meetings. I think that it's an opportunity to really put forward our pedigree and also the fact that you're, best in class, and to really educate them from a point of view of who they might be getting into bed with, because the trust needs to be built. As well, we need to, communicate with them in more sort of Web 2 language rather than the Web 3, so that they understand what the opportunity really is to them and what solutions we might be able to solve. At the end of the day, they're looking to grow their markets, and we're looking to provide them with solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are the key elements of Boson's sort of marketing strategy for brands? How and I guess how has your input changed that approach to strategy, positioning, and messaging?
Well, I think that most brands want to attack that Gen Z, Gen Alpha even audience, and that's really where tech can be leveraged. I think that the marketplace is really looking for what's next. They've really tried to use all of their resources and their experience to date, and play the game as they've always played it. And currently, it's not working. So they really do need to look to what is next, and the exciting times that are happening in crypto means that this is the opportunity for them. But they do need to move quickly because there's going to be a mass rush to crypto, and for brands to leverage this in order to access these new markets, access these new audiences in a different way.
Okay, great. And in terms of our, I guess more specifically, our sort of positioning and messaging, I mean, perhaps a year ago we were quite technology led. That's changed quite a bit. Can you sort of talk through how we're sort of positioning and messaging with brands now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important that the messaging has been tech led to date so that you can tell your peers exactly what you're doing, and so that therefore that there is that level of pedigree set. But now, when talking to the markets of fashion and luxury and really implementing the technology, the language has to change slightly, the messaging has to change slightly, and it needs to now be something that's understandable for the masses rather than for the people like yourselves who are sort of so embedded in this. You understand it to a whole nother level. But it's really about just speaking to them in a way where they understand the opportunity here.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you, Liv. Pleasure as always, and we'll be speaking shortly.
Looking forward to it.